What's up, YouTube? I'm I. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, please think about hitting that sub button for me. Today I got a classic album review of Shaolin's finest, aka the Wu-Tang Clan's debut studio album, 36 Chambers. In the late 80s, RZA, GZA, and ODB, who are all cousins by the way, formed a group called the Force of the Imperial Master, which was also known as the All In Together Now crew. During this time, RZA was known as Prince Rakeem, or the Scientist, GZA was known as the Genius, and Ol' Dirty Bastard was known as the Specialist. By 1991, GZA and RZA were signed to separate record labels, but they soon got dropped from their labels for God knows what, and after they were dropped, that's when they went on to reinvent themselves for the better. The Genius became the GZA, aka the Genius Zigzag Allah. Prince Rakeem became RZA, aka the Ruler Zigzag Allah, and the Specialist became Ol' Dirty Bastard because there was no father to his style. I say it all the time, but when bad things happen in life, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like sometimes maybe that setback was put in place for a bigger purpose to help you in life. You feel me? If RZA and GZA were still signed to their record deals, does the potentially legendary Wu-Tang Clan still form with all the other members? I personally don't think so. Speaking of the other members in the clan, Tony Starks, aka Ghostface Killah, began collaborating with RZA on some joints, and they decided to create a hip-hop group whose characters and essence came from kung fu movies, Eastern philosophy, watered down Nation of Islam teachings, and comic books. And all of those things really helped put into perspective what the Wu-Tang Clan was all about. The name Wu-Tang comes from the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang movie that came out in 1983, and the whole 36 Chambers theme comes from the 36 Chamber of Shaolin movie that released in 1978. When I was coming up, a lot of those martial arts, action-packed movies were the shit, you know what I'm saying? They were really big at the time, and I remember always sitting down with my pops watching that shit. So I think that that's one of the reasons why the Wu-Tang Clan is such a big deal to me. My pops loved those movies like crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's literally all he watches to this day, you know what I'm saying? To this day. Shout out to my man Deontay Wilder. Because I was so young, some of those kung fu flicks that were in Chinese that were converted to English with the voiceovers and shit, like you cannot defeat Wu-Tang style. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really notice it at the time because I was so young, but back then it was cool though. I ain't gonna front, it was cool. On November 9th, 1993, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers released, peaking at number 41 on the Billboard 200 and selling 30,000 copies in its first week, and in 1995 it was certified platinum. Most hip-hop heads worldwide regard this album as one of the best albums ever, and it only sold 30,000 in its first week. It was a different time period, of course, but you can't just judge how good an album is by its weekly sales, like no matter who the artist is. In this day and age, a mumble rapper can put out a project that has great first week sales, but was an atrocity of a project, but that young mumble rap audience wouldn't really think so because talent and lyricism is not really what they go for. You have to listen to a project and judge by how it sounds and not by the first week sales all the time, you feel me? This classic album didn't just have heavy martial arts influences, but it also used that whole supreme mathematics doctrine, which attaches the number 9 with the meaning to bring into existence, right? Like you're brought into the world, you know what I'm saying, through your mom's womb, and then mentally through God's mathematics or Allah's mathematics, you know what I'm saying? And that's what basically sums up the number 9 in supreme mathematics. The original Wu-Tang Clan members was the RZA, you know what I'm saying? The GZA, Method Man, Inspector Deck, Ghostface Killah, Master Killer, U-God, Raekwon, and ODB. That's 9 members, and each member had 4 chambers of the heart, which equals the 36 chambers, which brings us back to the album title. Everything with the Wu-Tang Clan had meaning. Like even if it didn't really play a big role, and maybe you didn't really notice it, it definitely still mattered. Like for example, the human body has 108 pressure points, and of the 108 pressure points, coincidentally, 36 of those pressure points are deadly, right? So 108 pressure points in the human body, right? 1 plus 0 plus 8 equals 9. 9 members in the Wu-Tang Clan. 9 plus 36 is 45. 4 plus 5 equals 9, which brings us back to 9 members in the Wu-Tang Clan again. I know some of you cats are looking at me like, yo, is this math class? What the f is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? I'm terrible at math myself, so I understand, but I think that these meanings just hold so much weight. Like, they're coming at you with the sword style of rhyming, right? And all 9 members have 36 deadly lyrical techniques for pressure points. Super dope concept. On songs like Shame on a and Protect Your Neck, which is one of the singles on this album, the Wu are making it known to the rest of the rap game that their sword style can't be matched by anybody, and they're warning other MCs to stay far away from the lyrical calamity that they bring. My favorite song on this album, without question, is The Mystery of Chessboxing. Like, the song is all about the Wu mindset of always staying a step ahead of their competition, to always have an advantage. And like, the video was super dope. Like, it reminded me of one of those like old school kung fu movies where like they're in the temple, you know what I'm saying, sharpening up their skills, and the way they all came in to rip shit was incredible. I love the other songs on the album, like Clan in the Front, Seventh Chamber, you know what I'm saying, Cream, Method Man, Seventh Chamber Part 2, but The Mystery of Chessboxing was just on some other shit to me. Can It Be All So Simple, which was another single on the album, as well as the song Tearz, have a different kind of vibe to them. They're not as hardcore as the other songs, they're a little bit more softer in tone, and they talk about wanting more out of their life, right? They're tired of fighting for survival on the block each day, and they want to live a more lavish lifestyle and shit. And sometimes in life, instead of feeling like you know it all, listen to what someone else has to say for a second, because you don't know it all, you know what I'm saying? And in life, always work smarter, you know what I'm saying, and never harder. This entire classic album was produced by the Ruler Zigzag, aka the RZA, and I think he did a pretty good job on it. Like, the beats definitely had lots of bass to them, and they weren't super crisp, but it worked. And everybody's aggressive attack on the beats matched the production perfectly, which is really dope. I feel like this album is so important, not just for the East Coast, but for hip hop as a whole, because the Wu proved that you didn't have to have those soft, jazzy, G-funk sounds and that super mainstream sound to make it. You know what I'm saying? The gritty, the real, the skill, along with respectable production can do it for you. Just be authentic as well. Let's say this classic album released today, it would automatically be labeled underground because it's definitely outside of that whole mainstream umbrella, right? As far as like the sound goes. But I still believe that it would have done amazing today. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Wu-Tang Clan, like, they were all highly skilled, you know what I'm saying, very lyrical, and they were different in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they found a dope way to fuse martial arts, you know what I'm saying, kung fu with hip hop, which changed this whole craft for the better. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, get in the comment section, and let me know who your favorite member in the Wu-Tang Clan was, and just your overall thoughts on this classic album. RIP to the old dirty bastard, you know what I'm saying, the dirtiest thing in sight, you know what I'm saying, Osiris, you know what I'm saying, you were one of a kind, man. I wish you were still here, but make sure you subscribe, follow me on Instagram at I'm Hurrikane Isaac 95. I'm out, y'all. Peace.